There are some interesting ways to use a double knitting board besides double knitting. For this cardigan front that I'm working on, 3 of them are on display. Moss stitch, embossed cables, and embossed half fisherman's rib. Today we'll focus on the half fisherman's rib. It makes a great cardigan band or edging for a scarf, shawl, or blanket. It's completely non-rolling, and it has extra weight, which is welcome for stability in these circumstances. The extra weight comes from extra stitches, and here they are. Before we get to that point on the cardigan front, I've been moving some extra stitches around to create the cable. Then there's a stretch of plain knit stitches on the near board to me. I'm over here. And then we get to the band, or it could be the edging of something. And opposing some of the pegs where we've been working all along on the near board, we also work pegs on the far board. 2 together, a gap, and 2 together. This will make stitches on these pegs that face the opposite direction from the stitches on these pegs. So on what is the purl side of the main knitting, these will show up as knits. But unlike standard ribbing of any kind, fisherman's or otherwise, there are not gaps in the main knitting where the other face has the purl stitches. These are truly extras, and that's what adds the weight. And it's the way we wrap it that makes it similar to half fisherman's rib, and also the pace at which we knit over. Towards the edge, past the last of the stitches on the opposing board, are 4 more stitches on the near board. Of course, these are plain stockinette, which will roll, and we're taking advantage of that fact. Allowing it to do what it wants to do gives a very nice finished rolled edge, and also adds a little bit more heft and stability to the edge. So here I am knitting up to the edge treatment. I'm at the last of the plain single board stockinette stitches. Now I'll wrap across to one of the opposing pegs, back to the near peg, and I need to stop here and knit over the near peg, because the fact that I'm skipping one on the far away board means this wouldn't have enough of a wrap if I didn't make the U-stitch right now. Also the next one, because it doesn't have a stitch opposing that peg. Now I can wrap across and back again, and 4 plain U-stitches after that. The U form of the knit stitch is when you allow the yarn to wrap around the peg, creating a little bit more length than it would have if you did what is called the flat stitch. Where we wrap across the board, there's automatically plenty of yarn contributed to those stitches. Now this pass, we're not going to knit those loops off. We're going to let them just collect. I slip the first stitch of each row for a neater edge, so I have 3 plain U stitches to make. Then I'll wrap across to the back board, to the front board, twice, and then there will be 1 plain knit stitch on the front board only. So again, I've got to make sure that enough yarn gets contributed to these 2 stitches. Now across and back, across and back. I can knit over the last one to just anchor all of my wraps, and the next one I like to do. And now I can go back and knit over any that need it. And then we'll address the back board. And in each case, there are 3 loops. We'll knit 2 over 1. This is an essential feature of half fisherman's rib. When you let loops build up without knitting them over, it's called tucking. And one of the boards will tuck every other row to create the half fisherman's rib texture. So that's the edge, and we'll repeat those 2 rows over and over to create it. 3 tips will help you succeed. To get a U knit stitch, you need to hold the yarn supply loosely enough that that yarn truly wraps around. You can manually wrap around each peg, or you can hold the supply loosely enough that the previous stitch pulls the new stitch around the peg. Also, to use this technique, your double knitting board needs to have pegs with a nice dimension. The top one here is a cindwood, the bottom one is a knitting board. They both have pegs that are thick enough to create U-stitches. That's close to impossible to do on a loom like this one with pin-style pegs. A final requirement for this technique to work is that the spacing across the boards between the two sets or rows of pegs be really similar to the spacing along a board between the pegs. This board was custom made for me by Cindwood, so of course it works. And I will leave a link in the program notes to my website where it's described, just in case it interests you to have one made yourself. This one is a KB product, and I'm sure you're aware that the spacers that come with this loom are wooden blocks and they fit in there. Those are not a workable solution for this style of knitting, but it's simple to substitute washers. I'm using 3, and this is producing a very nice piece of fabric. Another day I'll show you how to make the cable and also the unusual way of forming moss stitch.